Richard, I want to make a statement about Freemasonry. I totally agree that not all Masons are bad, and that's obvious, because anytime you get organizations of people, they're going to be good and bad and everything. But there is a very critically bad situation in Masonry in America, and I believe it is because the British Grand Lodge has usurped the power of American Masonry. American Masonry founded this country, and I have used this mundane example before. I want to say it again. If you get in an argument with some gang member and you end up in a parking lot fighting this guy and you beat him up, everybody's going to pat you on the back that you're the big guy, you beat this guy up, and everybody's patting you on the back. But what you've done is you have opened up a can of worms, because it's not over yet. They're coming back, and they're coming back to settle the score. This is exactly what happened when the American Masons rose up against the British Grand Lodge and said, no more the Queen, no more the Pope, no more this Vatican conspiratorial apparatus that England had in Europe to rape and plunder the people. That American Masons stood up and said, no more, this country is to be free. And so they met the British Grand Lodge on the field of battle and sent the British back bleeding. And consequently, the powers that be and all around the world, the Masonic powers in Europe, were looking at the King of England and the Masonic powers of the British Grand Lodge and saying, are you going to let them get away with this? You know, I thought you were the King of England. I thought you guys were running the world. These guys whipped your ass over there. What are you going to do about that, huh? What are you going to do? And consequently, the King of England, the British Grand Lodge, decided, and just as it was brought out in the movie The Patriot, with Mel Gibson brought out, that the British Grand Lodge and the royalty in England realized that the Americans were absolutely livid, and they were on the field of battle to kill somebody to defend this country. So the British Grand Lodge decided, just leave it alone, let it die down. Their tempers are hot now, leave it alone, and we're going to come back with Anglo-Saxon banking, and we're going to do them in. But it's going to take a while, but one day the Americans are going to crawl back on their knees and kiss the feet of their masters in England. And that's what's going on right now today. The British Grand Lodge is raping this country. And because they're Masons, we normally say, well, then the Masons are doing this. No, no, it's the British Grand Lodge that is raping America today.
That is the truth. Trust me.
Right on.
And also, I would add to that, that the British Grand Lodge is in bed with the Vatican. And this is my comment, this is my subjective opinion, that if you go back and look at all of the dark, dirty, filthy, degenerate stuff that's going on in this world today, it can be traced back to the Vatican. I'm telling you, because for 1,600 years the Pope has dominated the Vatican. For 1,600 years the Vatican has dominated Europe. For 1,600 years Europe has dominated the world. So the problems that are going on today in this country and around the world goes back to the Vatican. It goes back to Europe. It goes back to the international banking cartels. There's something serious going on, and the most serious problem we got today is the destruction of our republic by the Vatican, British annex. The two together are destroying the republic, and I'll tell you one reason why they want this country destroyed. It's the only country in the world ever to have a written constitution that said that each and every person in this country is a sovereign. If you go back into the old Wild West days and the cowboy movies, the cowboys could ride in with the guns on the hip. They could go in a bar. If you have a falling out, you can walk out in the street and two men could draw on each other. Why? Because that was under international law. We were considered sovereigns. We were kings, and consequently you could arm yourself, you could defend yourself because you were a king under our law, under constitutional law. So the point is that we are the only people on the earth who have a written constitution that guarantees that we are free people. And the King of England and the Vatican has never forgotten the ass whooping they got, and they're coming back to destroy this republic.
Is he through? Right on. I'd like to get back to the Stargate situation. I have a theory I'd like to put over to you, but I got to explain something first. I'm an electrical maintenance engineer, also an aircraft electrician, TV technician, you name it, I'm there. In the King's Chamber, there's a sarcophagus. What if, now this is a theory I'm putting over to you, you take the Ark of the Covenant, which you stick in the King's Chamber, and just like the professor at, I believe it was Caltech, I found out about this when I was going to MIT back east, that a professor out there built a replica of the Ark of the Covenant, and it was so electrified with static electricity, he dismantled it. He told the guys to take it apart because the bolts of lightning would come out of it. And if you read in the book in the Bible, it talks about that one gentleman that put his hand out to stop it from falling off, he got zapped. You take that Ark of the Covenant, you put it in the King's Chamber, you step into the King's Chamber under control at a certain time. When Mars comes around, you're transported right to Mars, and the pyramid's there. It's another form of Stargate.
I could see my way to look at that. Let me put it this way: if you take the dimensions of the sarcophagus, as we can measure them now, from Flinders Petrie to the present, and you take the dimensions of the classic Ark of the Covenant, the Ark will fit in the sarcophagus. Right. Now, the King's Chamber is in the middle of the pyramid. The pyramid is a incredibly 6 million ton torsion field generator on the Earth at 30 degrees north. We don't know what the potential would be, pun intended, potential,
with the shell around
connecting all those technological elements in one structure. But I will tell you that I know, and Stan Tenen has known, and David of course knows, and a number of other people know, that the pyramids were not tombs, they are incredibly sophisticated solid state machines.
Right.
The potential, again that word, for what they can do is not limited. And there are experiments where torsion field experiments, rotating, spinning, can dematerialize and pass through matter and reappear on the other
right.
side. It is conceivable that under certain alignment conditions, given enough energy, the right frequencies, the right resonance, etc., that, yeah, the pyramid could be maybe a Stargate. Mm-hmm. And at the other end, depending upon the alignment and where you're supposed to pop out, you could dematerialize here, rematerialize there, because you don't go through space, you go through hyperspace and you basically reassemble. Part of that is real physics, part of that is Russian data, and part of that is pure speculation, and we don't have time to get into all the details, but that's not a bad idea.
It could happen.
Now, okay, I want to thank everyone for coming. It's very late.